Western Maryland is under a state of emergency as recovery efforts continue after historic flooding in Allegany and Garrett Counties. Governor Wes Moore visited Westernport and saw the damage firsthand on Thursday. During Tuesday's torrential rainfall, there were mandatory evacuations and firefighters had to rescue students and teachers from 2 schools, as well as help save people trapped in their cars and homes.
Just going to make sure that every single asset that we have and every lever that we can pull from a local, from a state, from a federal perspective are going to get to the people and get to the people as quickly as possible as we work together with this recovery effort.
Just to get some security, feel like he is here and things are going to be taken care of in the future with the recovery. So I'm super excited about that.
Returning to Capitol Review is Maryland Congresswoman April McClain Delaney. Congresswoman, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks. I really always love coming on.
So you toured Western Maryland this week along with other state leaders, including Governor Wes Moore. What were some of the things that you saw?
Well, I represent the 6th District of Maryland, which really starts at Montgomery County, but goes all the way up to Garrett and Allegany, which is kind of mountain Maryland and Appalachia. And on Monday, they had historic rains, 5, 6, 7 inches within a very short amount of time. And because of the mountains, a lot of the mud came down and there was flooding that came very quickly. And I have to say that the devastation was unbelievable in terms of the mud and what is happening with the roads, the bridges. This was where those hundreds of kids were kind of sheltered in place and they rescued them by boat. But those first responders and the police and EMS, the Tri-County EMS and the Potomac Fire number 2, not one life was lost and no injury, and God bless them for their professionalism. And Governor Moore, of course, is amazing. He always shows up.
Congresswoman, Governor Moore declared a state of emergency, but we do know last month FEMA announced it's ending its Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities program that would help reduce possibility of damage from natural disasters. What resources are you looking at from a federal level?
Well, I mean, I'm hopeful that there will be some FEMA funding, and once they get to a threshold of, I think, 45 or 50 million. I mean, roughly, we are going to still approach FEMA and see what we can do. Yes, that was pictures of where we were yesterday. Really incredible. But I think that, we're going to be, first of all, there's the Hazard Mitigation and Grant Program, but also, there's a lot of the state programs, and I think the governor is looking at those. USDA has some programs also with rural build out and mitigation, and then just a lot of different funding streams depending upon which of the buildings we're looking at. I also am hopeful to help that fire station, which really was devastated and needs some new equipment now.
Congresswoman, what we've seen so far is during the Trump administration, they've rescinded a lot of funding for several programs across federal agencies. Are there concerns that those changes could impact recovery efforts in Western Maryland?
Of course there is. I mean, there's a tsunami about to hit rural America writ large. I mean, from SNAP funding cuts to Medicaid, and so there's, all of these agency and critical core safety net, funding cuts that are hitting them. And then once you have a disaster, a fire, a flood, a tornado, it's really horrific. And the fact that this tsunami is coming and many times the state can't step in, it is very concerning. One of my biggest concerns, and actually I spoke about it last night with the first responders and the firefighters, is they said that the reason they were able to not have a loss of life is that they were really monitoring the Emergency Weather Service, and that how critical NOAA and really monitoring and figuring out where and when these storms are going to hit is so pivotal. I mean, not only the FAA and so many other parts across our government, but really in these rural and small towns, they need that kind of warning system. And let me tell you something. This school was in session. It was like 1 o'clock. By 1, they heard about it. There was some sort of warning system. At 1:08, they said they had a little bit of water. By the time it was 1:30, there was 12 feet. And, they said, thank God it wasn't, weren't just getting out of school, or else God knows what would have happened. But it was so important that they had that warning system, that they were able to actually keep the kids inside the school. And, you know, these are the type of things that we have to think about as services are cut.
And Congresswoman April McClain Delaney, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for helping me lift up this issue. Heroic efforts, but, you know, we're going to get through it.
Thank you so much.